Yes, good evening, everybody. Today we implement the first automation test framework, that is TestNG framework. First, well, to your knowledge, what is the meaning of a framework? What is the meaning of a framework? General meaning. Yes. What you mean by a framework? We build and deploy. Provides all features to build a project. Grouping all test cases together. Structure of a system. Right. See, I can say waterfall model, V model, agile model, or development frameworks or development approaches. Waterfall model, V model, agile model, or development frameworks, not testing frameworks. For developing some software application, a plan and approach defined is called development framework. The similar fashion, a plan and some guidelines or some set of procedures defined for developing and executing automation test cases for a project can be called as a framework. A framework, here the framework is automation test framework, or a test framework is a plan and approach defined to develop and manage automation test cases for a project. I can say a systematic approach, a structure, or a set of guidelines or procedures defined by your management for developing, managing, executing automation test cases for a project is called a framework. I can add another word here: to develop, manage, and execute automation test cases for a project can be called as a framework. Okay. In simple words, approaches. A approach defined by your management to develop and manage automation test cases for a project can be called as a framework. Okay. What are all the various approaches followed in real-time industries? Different automation test frameworks. The very first one, developing automation test cases using TestNG and its other features. It's called modularity framework. In other words, TestNG framework. Modularity framework or TestNG framework. Then data-driven testing, nothing but data-driven framework. Hybrid framework. The page object model, POM, and BDD Cucumber framework. These are the various approaches followed in real time for implementing automation testing project. Like waterfall model, V model, RAD model, spiral model, agile model are different approaches of developing automation, developing software application. The same way for different projects, for different technical regions, we opt different frameworks. See, as a student, we should know how to implement different ways of developing automation program for a project. But finally, for any project, for one project, any one of the framework will be opted, not multiple frameworks. We follow either hybrid framework or Cucumber framework, not the both. But as it is a learning, we have to learn all possible ways of developing automation test cases. Whatever the approach decided by your management, that approach we have to implement for a project. Right. First, let us start with the first one, TestNG framework. Modularity framework, actually it is called. This modularity framework, in Selenium, we are implementing the modularity framework using TestNG and its features. Hence, it is also called TestNG framework or TestNG approach. So what is the meaning of modularity? First, we identify various functionalities for automation testing. We identify various automation test scenarios. For each scenario, we create one independent test case using TestNG and its features. Finally, we are going to group all the test cases into one test suite, so that whenever the modified version given, when you run the suite, we have an option. We can run the test cases one by one independently, or if you run the test suite, all test cases will be executed one after another. Listen. Let's assume we are working on the Premise Bank application. Let me explain this with the help of Premise Bank application. So we are working on a project, Premise Bank application, that is the assumption. Okay. In this Premise Bank application, we have various features. See the functionality one, admin login. The other functionality, banker login. The other functionality, customer login. Like this, we have a number of features, say branch creation, etc., etc., etc. Right. Now, For every feature selected for automation, let's assume in this, we have identified admin login, banker login, customer login, we have decided to automate. Admin login, banker login, customer login, we have decided to automate. Okay. For every scenario selected for automation, we create one independent test case. Say, for every scenario selected for automation, we create one independent test case. So what is the first test case we have to implement here? Admin login test case. So we create an independent test case, admin login test case. So you are able to see my screen, right? Okay. Then the second test case. The second test case, banker login test case. For every scenario selected for automation, we create one independent test case. The third one, say customer login test. Once all individual test cases are created like this, after creating all independent test cases like this, if many remaining test cases, if any, finally, we create the testng.xml file that is the test suite. In this test suite, we call that admin login test and the banker login test sorry and the customer login test. So first we need to determine various scenarios for automation testing. For every scenario selected for automation, we create independent test cases using Java, Selenium, and TestNG features. Admin login test, banker login test, customer login test separately. So here we are going to implement the test methods. Here we implement the test methods. Then after creating all individual test cases, we are going to group all test cases together into testng.xml file so that whenever the modified version is given, so we are ready with the test cases now. Whenever the modified version given for testing, if you want to test a particular feature, we execute the corresponding test. If you want to execute all test cases together, we run the test suite. So this is the approach of implementing modularity framework. Now we'll see the technicals, how to do the same. Did you understand what I have explained? Please do confirm you understand the approach. For every scenario selected for automation, we create one independent test case first. After implementing all individual test cases, we are going to group all together into one test suite so that whenever a modified version given, if you want to execute a particular test case, we run the corresponding test. If you want to test all together, we run the suite. That's it. Now let us implement the technicals for the same. Whatever I explained, let us implement the same. I take two test cases in the Primus Bank project, admin login and banker login. Either two test cases or 200 test cases, approach would be the same. Maybe after learning or understanding the same, you may try to practice on some other application. First you implement on Primus Bank, later you can implement on Orange HRM or whatever to gain the confidence on implementing the TestNG framework. Let me start TestNG framework implementation on the Primus Bank project for the two scenarios, admin login and banker login. Got it? Right. Right. To implement this, I do not want to go with the previous workspace. I'm creating a new workspace in my system, my D drive. One moment. I'm creating a new folder in my D drive. Test frameworks. Here I'll give the notes in between. It's launching. In between, I'll give some short notes about this. In this approach, we develop independent test cases for the selected automation test scenarios, like admin login test, banker login test, etc. Once all test cases are implemented, we group them into a test suite, testng.xml file, so that whenever the modified build given for testing, if you want to execute or test a particular feature, we run the corresponding test. If you want to test all features, we run the test suite. So this is a concept. The same thing I have explained earlier. Well, now I connected to my new workspace test frameworks, and here I'm creating the new Java project. My project name I have given Primal Bank project. So as of now, it is just a Java project. For the Java project, I'm associating the Selenium and the TestNG. I'm associating the Selenium and also the TestNG. Okay. Now, here we have to create a proper structure, project structure. So what is the project structure recommended? First, here I create a new package. You know, here everything is in terms of packages, nothing but the folder. A new package with the name utils. The constants utilities like Excel utilities, application utilities. If there are any common utility operations, to maintain that, I created a package called utils. I'm creating another package here with the name, my project name dot library. All libraries belongs to my Premise Bank project. I'm going to keep here. I'm creating one more package to maintain my test cases. Premise Bank dot tests for my test cases. Okay, so as of now, these are the packages I have created. I hope you understand why I have created these packages. Please do confirm so that I'll continue. One package to maintain constants, utility functions. One package to maintain all my project library classes and methods. One package to maintain the test cases. Okay, now let us start from the utils. Here, previously I explained you, but I was not created any actual code. This time I'm creating the actual code. Here I'm creating a class with the name app utils, application utils. Right. Just modifying the layout or editor option. Okay. So app utils here. Okay. You tell me what are the functions you want me to define here? What are the functions you want me to define here? Yes. Open browser. Only open browser. Okay, launch application and close application. Correct. Correct. Right. Here, I'm creating a method to invoke the application. You tell me this launch application, close application are of type static or non-static? Static or non-static? Yes, correct. Static launch app, launch application. Okay. Now here we have to write the code for launch application. And we have to create another function close application. Right. And here we have to implement the code. See the first one. I need driver object, web driver object in this method, also in this method. So where you want me to define the web driver object? At class level. Very good. Very good. Okay. So public. So why I'm using a keyword public here? So that among all packages, you can make use of this driver object, what you are defining here. Public, static. Why I'm making a static? Because a static method can access only other static members available in the class. If I make the WebDriver object as non-static, static method cannot access it. Static WebDriver just a minute. WebDriver the name, the driver. So now I can make use of the driver object here and here. See, this method will recognize the driver object. And this method also will recognize the driver object. And see, and few people send me some error messages saying that they are facing some errors. Maybe the reason what you did, some people what they did, again you are writing WebDriver here. It's not correct. If again you are writing WebDriver driver, you are making driver as local. You're getting my point? If you are writing like this, again you are making the driver object as local object. So you are not able to use the driver among the other test cases also. Got it? I have some people made this mistake, right? After declaring at class level, again you are redefining at method level, like this, driver. We should not do that. If you are doing this, you are creating again your same variable, you are creating as a local object again. Right. Now, okay, see the two method names and tell me what are the input fields required for these methods. What are the input fields required for these methods? For launch application, what is the input field required? URL, correct. URL, correct. So here, public static string URL, I'm assigning the URL value. My application URL, primusbank.kuwaittech.com. My application URL I have given here. Now we have to write the code here. We have to write the code here, right? Right. So I hope most of you are attending the session with a laptop, right? You do one thing. Either you create a new workspace or in your present workspace, you create the same skeleton. Create a project with the name Primus Bank project. And create these packages. Create a project with the name Primus Bank project. Associate Selenium API and TestNG API. Create these packages. In utils package, create a class with the name apputils and define the structures so that I'll continue. You first complete this part, I'll continue the session. Please do this. right? I hope I'm audible, right? Okay, listen. Here, I copied the gecko driver. If required, cone driver also you can copy here. You know about this code. New Firefox driver. Then delete the cookies. I'm giving my application URL. Oh, sorry. Already we have the variable URL variable. I can directly make use of the URL variable. If you want to make Selenium to wait for 20 seconds to find the element, we can configure the timeouts. Implicitly wait. Right. Right. There's a question from the Raj, why we have declared the URL here. See, Raj, if you are using, if I'm using TestNG annotations, I'm going to configure this with before the test. Later, if you want to change this, you can change this, no worries. You can supply as a parameter also, no worries. We'll do that. So first I'll drive like this. Later I'll declare the URL variable as a testng parameter. I'll declare this URL in testng.xml file as a parameter. Once I declare that, after creating the testng.xml, I remove from here. Okay? Right. Now here, just I'm writing driver.close. Right. Now, this launch application, I'm going to configure using before the test case. The annotation @ before test. Before executing each test case present in the suite, I want to implicitly call launch application method. After executing every test case available in the test suite, I want to call close application method. You understand? I hope this one. Before test and after test, you understood here, right? Before executing each test case, I want to call implicitly launch application method. After executing each test case, I want to make my testng.xml file to call the close application methods. Right. So before the test case, launch application. After the test case, close application. Then the first test case, I want to create admin login test case. For admin login test case, we need admin login method and also admin logout method. I go to Premise Bank library. Here I'm creating a class, the Premise Bank homepage. In this Premise Bank homepage, I'm going to define admin login, banker login, and totally whatever the features available in the homepage. We have already written the code for invoking the application. We have to write a function for admin login here. It is Premise Bank homepage. So in the Premise Bank homepage class, I am going to define the test method, or I'm going to create the method, not test method, admin login. Here, admin login needs user ID, password as input arguments. Here I have to make use of the driver object. So here, this extends app utils so that I can make use of the driver object. So driver dot find the element by the ID and spying the property of the ID property of the element, username element. Here there is an ID property available. I am copying the ID property by the ID, this ID dot send keys, the user ID. The same way, I'm inspecting the properties of the password element. There is an ID property here. I'm giving that ID property the password. Then I need the properties of the login element. By the ID dot click. So now enter username, enter password, and click login. If we have to implement the test condition. Based on the URL, I want to make a decision, admin module displayed or not. So here, I'm declaring two local variables, expected URL and actual URL. The expected URL equal to, I'm giving that, okay, admin flow. Now, after clicking login, the actual URL equal to we are capturing the actual URL. Then if this actual URL, I'm converting it to lowercase. If it contains the expected URL. If these conditions satisfied, I want to return a Boolean value true. If this condition not satisfied, I want to make this function to return false. So finally here the return type is the Boolean. So do confirm this function code understood. I'll explain, Ravitesh. You just follow me, you'll understand why I'm writing the code in this way. Ravitesh, we can use assertion. See, friends, is it a test case? Ravitesh, you posted a question. Rather than if condition, why can't we insert a assertion here? And my question to you, all you people, not only Ravitesh, remaining people, here, this Primus Bank homepage is a test case class. Is it a test case class? Yes or no? No. Very good. It is not a test case, it is a library file. Library file. So that in the test case classes, we can call the functions whatever you needed. In this package, we are going to define our test cases. Assertions we implement on the test case classes, not in the library classes. Assertions, actually assertions, what the assertions will do? They compare expected value, actual value, then generate the appropriate test results, pass, fail. Test cases pass or fail. So assertions we must implement in test case classes, not in library classes. Got it? So as of now, what this function? It is entering a username, password, clicking login, verifying admin module displayed or not. If displayed, it is returning true. If not displayed, it is returning false. The return value we can use in the test case classes by implementing appropriate assertions. Right. Now, if I implement complete, if I completed one test case, you will understand the flow. Okay. Now, we need one more function, admin logout. Admin logout. This admin module is a separate page. So rather than defining the function admin logout here, I already told you for every page belongs to your application, create a separate class. Here, I'm creating another class with the name admin homepage. In this admin homepage, I'm creating a class, method, admin logout. To make use of the driver object, this extends app utils. Here my code is find the logout element. This element. This SRC property I'm using it by in the XPath I'm using SRC property after finding the element, perform the click operation. Done. After logout, whether this logout working or not. If it is redirecting to login page, we can say logout is working if login element is displayed. So here, if the login element is displayed, return true. If the login page is not displayed, return false. The return type is Boolean. And please observe here, as it is not a test case class, we are not using even @test annotation also. We are not using @test annotation also. Test methods, assertions must be implemented in the test case classes. Okay. Here also we don't have @test method. We don't have any assertion. All these are library methods. At test case levels, we can use the testing related validations. Now, in order to complete or implement my first test case, admin login test case, whatever the resources required are available. Launch application available, admin login available, admin logout available, close application available. To implement my first test case, admin login test case, to implement my first test case, admin login test case, whatever the resources required, already we have created them. Now you can implement the test case, first test case. Here my test case name, admin login test. These are test case classes, right? Now, this is my test method. This I'm going to configure with @test annotation. This I'm configured with @test annotation. Okay, right. And you do observe there is no code here. There is no code, nothing. But I'm running this. One moment, it is showing some errors here. Applicants, public, static, driver. What's the mistake I made? Oh, sorry. No errors. I was not saved it, that's it. No, there are no errors. I modified the code but not saved it. Once I saved, all the errors were removed. There are no errors. Okay. Now here there is no code. I created one test method. There is no code in the test method. I run this, see what happens. So what happened? We are getting the results as pass. Not zero pass. You please observe one pass. Sanjana, not zero pass, one pass. No fail, no skip. One test case executed and pass. I'll run this again. See the HTML report. Admin login test case was executed. and it is showing pass. It is showing pass. See, my question to you, really, do you have any code here? Do you have any code here? Then it is showing pass. Why? There is no code, but it is saying the test case is pass. Sai Krishna answered perfectly. No exception was raised. Correct. Correct, Sai Krishna. No, see, I told you, if any method configured with @test annotation, if no errors were produced, we get the results as pass. No errors were produced, we get the results as pass. So, if you wanted proper test output, every test method must have at least one assertion, which is comparing expected value, actual value, then produce the results. Okay. Now, you please observe clearly. This admin login test case extends app utils. Okay. Once again, everybody keenly observe this. I remove this. When I run the test case, in the memory of admin login test, when I run this test case, in the memory of admin login test, you tell me how many methods will be present. How many methods will be present? So you tell me how many methods are available in the admin login test now. Only one method. Okay. I agree with you. Only one method. Okay. Now extends app utils. Now, if I run this test case in the memory of admin login test, how many methods will be present? How many methods will be present? Sai Krishna, Raj answered perfectly. 3 methods. Sudha, Divya, yes, 3 methods. How 3 methods? How 3 methods? Because in app utils, what extents will do? This will copy into the child program, meaning launch application method, close application method will be copied into admin login test case. So in the memory of the admin login test case, there will be 3 methods. One is check admin login, which is a test method. 2 are extended from parent class. Correct, Nitin. 2 are extended from parent class. Together, there will be 3 methods. Okay. Now, in these 3 methods, one is configured with before test. One method configured with after the test. Check admin login is configured with @test. There will be 3 methods present in the memory during runtime. One is configured with before test, one method configured with after test, one method configured with @test. So if you run this, what is the sequence? In which order they will be run? In which order they will be executed? First, yes, answer me. First, no, not login. Not in alphabetical order. 3 are not test methods. One is configured with before test. In app utils, launch application configured with before the test. Close application configured with after the test. Admin login test here, check admin login is configured with @test. So what is the order? Before test, @test, and after test, correct? See, here I am giving first before test method will be executed, then @test method will be executed. Finally, after test method will be executed. Agree with me? This is order. Already we have discussed in the Gmail example. So now, as of now, there is no code in the test method, but still I run this. You tell me when I run this now, what happens? When I run this, what happens? It invokes the Primus Bank application because this is already we have the code here. Before test method will be executed, no code in the @test method, nothing will be executed. Finally, after method will be executed, that is closing the application. You please observe now. So I close the Primus Bank application, which is already open in my desktop. Okay, there are no browsers available in my desktop now. I'll run this program. It invokes the first launch application method will run. Please do observe clearly. Yes, see, the launch application method is getting executed, which opens the Primus Bank application. After opening the Primus Bank application, there is no code inside the test method, so nothing will be executed. After method will execute, that is close the application. You observe that? It opened the application, close the application, because there is no code in the @test method. Now here, we have to write the test script. Test case related code we have to write here. I hope you understood this. For today, I stop here. Tomorrow, here I'll write the code for the test case, admin login test case. Okay. For today, I stop here. Tomorrow, here I'll write the code for admin login test case. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I mean, can I extend for another five more minutes so that this will be completed? Right. I'll write the code. Why again tomorrow I have to repeat everything? I complete this part today. So now, see, we no need to write the code for admin login. Already in the Primus Bank homepage, we have admin login function. In the Primus Bank homepage, already we have admin login function with the appropriate code. It is entering a username, password, clicking login and verifying admin login working or not. If working, it is returning true. If not working, it is returning false. So what I will do here, I'll create the object for the Primus Bank homepage, phome. Then I'm calling the function check admin login. Oh, phome dot admin login. Admin login is a function. I'm giving the test data here. Friends, today I am hard coding the data. After implementing the testng.xml file, I'll move the data from here to the testng parameters. Later, I'll apply the parameters. Now, this admin login function needs two input fields. I supply. Finally, it is returning a Boolean value true or false. So at test case level, whatever the value it is returning, I'm taking into a local variable, for example, res. Now here, we use the assertion. Here we use the assertion. Assert dot assert true. If the function return value is true, if res value is true, assert true, true. If true, we get the test case results as false, otherwise fail. Then I want to call the logout which is available in the admin homepage. So here I'm creating an object for the admin homepage to call the admin logout. A home. Then I'm calling that admin logout function. Done. Now let us run the test case. Now this is a complete test case now. Admin login, only one test case, admin login test case. Done. So one test case completed, and this is the results. Admin login test case executed and pass. The same way we have to implement the remaining test cases, banker login, customer login, whatever. After implementing all individual test cases one by one, we are going to group all together. Got it? So what I do tomorrow, I'll implement the second test case, banker login test case, where I'm going to repeat all the stuff together again. Right. Right. We continue tomorrow. Thank you. See you tomorrow.